Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, we're going through my round 21 AFL Fantasy team review, and I'm thankful that I'm finally caught up with all of the videos. So now I'm back on track after going away for the weekend and being a couple recordings behind, and now everything will be, I guess, up to date. But anyway, just before we jump into this video and showing it up on screen, I did score a 2400 on the nose, a round rank of 8400 and an overall rank of 5098, which is a rise of 63 spots. So I pretty much stayed in place, but my trades did, I think, pretty much work. And yeah, there were a couple of things that I think I could have done better, but they were marginal point gains. I think maybe 16 points, I think. Overall better gained. Maybe I could have got a better VC score if I'd gone another guy or another thing that way and that week, but I stuck with my decision that I had made, or that call that I made with NEWMAN, and that ended up really working out. So let's just jump into this video. And yes, the screen is right this time. Lockie Whitfield saved me. I was a little bit worried about this because obviously not watching the games, putting my phone down and everything, having a weekend sort of away from the footy. You can sort of be worried that a VC or a loophole or something like that wasn't going to click in, and I don't think I had any actual loopholes to click in, which was a good thing. And of course, obviously the failed VC of Flanders for like the first time this year didn't help. But yeah, he scored 137, doubled into a 274. Really happy about this. He ended up with 37-10, 2 and 1. 37-2, 37-10 and 2. So that was a really good effort from him, and I've gone too big. That should be it there. That's better. Harry Sheasel, 100 on the nose as well. He had 29, 5 and 3 against Richmond, which probably isn't the best effort given Richmond do, I think, generate a little bit more scoring opportunities for opposition. But he's got West Coast this week. Last time against West Coast, he went 104, so I'm expecting something similar. He's just an absolute gun, this guy, and it will be interesting because I think, is Fisher going to be back this week or not? I don't know exactly. Colin McCurcher, I'm pretty sure, was back, whereas Fisher, I don't think, was back from memory. Now that these guys played, I think, pretty early on in the week anyway, and I don't remember the teams from Thursday because that's almost a week ago now. Martin, 86, yeah, he didn't do the greatest, didn't have a really good first half. I think it was on like 22 at halftime, but then came roaring home with a 64-point second half. I'm intrigued to see this one against the Suns because if he's playing the wing role, I don't think it's necessarily the greatest, but if he's playing off halfback, then that could be interesting. I just need to look at the role of him on the weekend comparative to Archie Roberts, as I think Archie Roberts was brought in as he sort of drafted as a halfbacker, but I think he's been playing wing in the twos, so I just need to check that because Martin sort of can have those 140 bombs if he is playing off halfback, but if he isn't playing off halfback and playing more forward, it's a lot harder for him to score, even though he's a massive goal threat. As you see here, he's got a lot of one-goal games here, but yeah, a lot of his big marking games obviously are the games where he's playing off halfback, or is just disposals in general. It's including that massive game against St Kilda last time out. Well, not last time out, earlier on in the season. Tom Stewart, a 107 seems small for him, honestly, but just doing his job. Plays Freo. I don't know how Freo will even try and counter him, but yeah, he's just collecting high non-disposal count, and that's just what's carrying him. He ended up with 35 non-disposal points out of a 107, which actually doesn't seem that much, but it's been huge the last couple of weeks. 9-1, 8. Well, 9-1's actually smaller, but then the 4-1 doesn't really help, to be honest, much. 8-5 with a goal, 9-4, 11-5, etc., etc. You get the point. Nick Dacos, 92. I thought he'd back it up a little bit stronger after his display against Richmond. Comes up against Sydney, against the likes of a James Jordan tag, surely this week. He hasn't been tagging a lot, but we saw James Jordan, I think, earlier on in the year. He tried to tag him to a 1-2-3, which didn't probably work, but I think they let them off the chain a little bit in the last quarter. I don't know exactly because I'm pretty sure the Swans were smoking them in that game. They were up by 50 at one point. But yeah, so I'm not too worried necessarily about the tag generally because I think he's shown that he can beat out tags. I know that this Hawthorn game, there was McGuinness was sub. Even this game against Shinkoda, he still puts up a 92 in a tag game. So I'm not too worried about it too much. I think he's shown before that he can beat it out. And you see here, I'm pretty sure Chincotta tagged him here for a 1-2-2. So I think he's shown before. And Drew for a 95. Even Caldwell might have gone on here and for a 98. Brisbane, that would have been Berry, I'm pretty sure, for a 101. I think this might have even been a tag, or was this when McGuinness was sub again? I think McGuinness has been sub twice against Collingwood, which is really weird. But anyway, then we come to the big one of the week, the Nick Newman 145. Honestly, at this point, I'm just happy whenever my trades actually are net plus, just because they can be so volatile. Just because at this point of the season, you're trading out primos for primos, and you're just trying to link up the better fixtures, etc. So when you get Nick Newman for 145, it's absolutely huge. And yeah, I could see this one coming. 34 touches, 12 marks, 5 tackles, just a huge effort from him. He's got Hawthorn this week, and if we look at DFS quickly here, I know that I should be doing this in the preview one, but I sort of want to just look at it now. And he'd be a Desi kicker. I just want to see in the last 10 games, we'll see last 10. Hawthorn are actually a +5, and in the last 5, how are they? Please don't turn. Please don't flip. Hawthorn are okay, they're neutral. Neutral, not the worst. Okay, that's fine. And let's just see. They did give up a 137 to Whitfield. So hopefully they don't tag Nick Newman, so he can just do the Lockie Whitfield role, and that would be amazing. They also let Shoal, I don't really know if he can be considered that. They also let Jordan Clark, who's similar to Newman, go 104. These guys don't really, honestly. I don't know what was going on in that game. You know what? This is going to... I see. I think they're actually a good matchup. I don't think they're that negative. I just think this chaos happened. This 33, minus 29, minus 10 happened because the absolute rain that was going down in that game. So there wasn't many marking in that game. So I'm not too worried about that one, actually. So I actually think this could be a matchup worth looking at, honestly, even so. So yeah, I'll get into that in the preview, I think, or trade targets potentially, as I think he is still a trade target. Gordon, 101, it's always good just to have a Primo go 100, even in a shocking game. Dunkley, 83, we talked about it. He just had a shocker, had 2 really poor quarters, and you can't really get away with having 2 single-digit quarters. Bontempelli was absolutely huge. I'm still glad that I beat out the VC for him, as I would have obviously taken the VC. A 135 bomb would have taken it. Zach Butters, glad that I didn't trade him. That would have been really annoying if I traded him to Treloar, like a lot of people did, I think, and that would have been a minus 12. Tom Green, I probably could have traded Nick Newman to Tom Green, although, here's the thing about doing that, and people will be like, oh, you should have done that. And there's another option I could have done that would have generated points, more points, but we'll get to that in a second. I don't think, in my head, it's logical, or at least to think about it when you've got midfielders. The midfield band generally scores about 10 more points per game than the defender band. I don't think it's logical to go for a Tom Green down to a defender. Something in my head says no about that, because he's going to make up 10 points. He's got to go 10 points above his average comparative to it. So even in Tom Green's bad games, he's still gone like a 105, 110. So I'm maybe considering trading him out because he's going to have the Berry tag. But then again, he did go, where's the Brisbane game? He did go 127 against them here, as you can see. 127 on 37, 5 and 5. So it will be interesting, I would say, given that both teams are probably... Brisbane are fine. GWS are fighting for their final spot. Merritt, 118. We talked about that earlier today. He's doing really well. Frames, can you hold for 10 minutes, please? Oh, no. Anyway, he just, did his job. Connor Rosie, I'm glad that I didn't drop him, as he just went nuts as the Swans decided, you know what, we're just not going to look at either of the Port midfielders, or the Port 5 midfielders, as they all went off. Sarong struggled, 92, trying to get through this quickly so that my frames don't drop again. Tim English, he struggled. Brody Grundy, and this is what I was talking about with regards to trades that would have made better sense, is actually going Grundy to Cherry. Would have actually made more points. It would have got me a net gain of 66, is that? Yeah, 66 rather than a net gain of 52. I think 52, 52. So I lost out 14 points in that, but it wasn't the worst. And I'm still trying to rectify that this week. Anyway, Yeah, would have been nice if I'd actually probably gone that, but then I would have been annoyed that I hadn't gone, So I wasn't really actually looking at that. Brodie Grundy's been an annoying one this year that I think just got really tired across the year. And so, yeah, I don't know how Tristan Cherry's done it. He's an absolute workhorse. And, yeah, one of the biggest fails for me this year is the going against Tristan Cherry constantly. But yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day. Flanders 73, he sucked. Dane Zorko, he just did his job, 105. Caldwell 116, did his job. Then you have the likes of Isaac Heaney, 68, he sucked. Hopefully now that the Swans are getting slapped about in the media, that he actually decides to turn up, as he's sort of had 1 week on, 1 week off for the last, a month and a half. From round 16, 79, 105, missed a week's suspension, had an off game against Brisbane, had an on game against Western Bulldogs, and then an off game against the likes of Port. Hopefully he's back to his best. Dylan Moore, 88, in a matchup that I'm pretty sure, was he considered tough, this matchup? I don't know exactly. But yeah, he did his job and hopefully can do it against Carlton and then has a pretty good run home in the last 2 weeks. And then Peatling did his job again. Maybe I should have gone Philippou so that I didn't have to go Peatling. Philippou this week most likely, given the matchups. But then again, it was I just wanted to get the really good matchup, as I didn't really like the Philippou matchup against Brisbane, who scored 96. And we'll see if the AFL injuries, let me just go here. I just want to see with the injuries, is the GWS pair a test? Cornelio's a test, so we'll see on, we'll see, and also the likes of Josh Kelly and Cornelio will both probably play. So we'll see on, and I just want to check, when do GWS play? They play on here. If both play, or if both don't play, and if Peatling is a sub or not, then we'll see about that. Because Peatling, again, did he play Brisbane earlier this year? He played Brisbane for an 81. Maybe I just take that 81 and try and fix up other areas in the field, and that will be better. But then again, you're trying to it's really hard to work against to go with 2 primos up, etc. But we'll see what I can muster up, I would say. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much the video there. Mana 72 on the bench was pretty good, but didn't need it. And Lawson Humphries 71 was also. So I did the max of my potential, basically, other than the likes of Nick Newman here, and also trading in the highest score of the round in Tristan Cherry's 150 over Grundy. That would have gained me. So I could have gained, in essence, I think 25 points, give or take, I think, is what I would have gained, something like that. So my max was a 24-25, which is still pretty decent. But anyway, that is the video there. If you did end up enjoying it, remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the trade target video tomorrow. Bye, guys.